What's up, everyone? Welcome to Ashley Talks Movies, and welcome to my review of Hamnet. This is the new movie from director Chloe Zhao, her first since 2021's Eternals, and this one is adapted from Maggie O'Farrell's 2020 novel, which is a fictionalized account of how William Shakespeare, played by Paul Mescal, and his wife Agnes, played by Jessie Buckley, deal with a tragic event in their lives, a tragedy that inspired Hamlet, which is considered one of Shakespeare's best plays. Before I jump into the review, if you'd like to support the channel, there are a couple of ways you can do that. First, make sure you subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Also, join the discussion, jump into the comments, and share your thoughts about the movie.
You should go to London. That place in your head is now more real to you than anywhere else.
I am myself indifferent on it. Again.
Do you not wonder what is in it?
In what?
The play.
There has been so much buzz around Hamnet since its debut at the Telluride Film Festival this summer, and I have to say, it's worthy of all the praise and recognition that it's getting. Let's start with the performances. Jessie Buckley is absolutely phenomenal. Despite this movie having something to do with William Shakespeare, Agnes is really the focal point of this story, and she's such an interesting character. And Buckley brings this otherworldly quality to the role, and Agnes in many ways is an outsider who is thought to be by many in the town the daughter of a forest witch, and she likes to spend her time in the forest and is very in tune with nature and its healing properties and its abilities. There's almost a supernatural quality to her and her connection to nature, and she often talks about how the women in her family have the ability to see things. But when she's faced with a tragedy, we see how it changes her, how she deals with grief, and how devastated she is by loss. And it doesn't help that she feels like she's going through it alone, since her husband, who is William Shakespeare, is often away. And Buckley's performance is mesmerizing, heart-wrenching, and superb. It's a very raw performance that often has her using her body to express the type of grief that can consume you. I would be shocked if she didn't get nominated for an Oscar for her work here, because this is honestly one of the best performances of the year. Paul Mescal delivers a strong performance as William Shakespeare, a man who struggles with following his ambitions as a writer while also trying to be a present father and husband. And just like Agnes, he's completely devastated when tragedy strikes, and he has to find a way to channel all that anger, all the sadness that he's feeling. And so he turns to his plays. Really across the board, the performances are very good. I would say Emily Watson, although not in the movie very much, makes the most of her screen time as Mary Shakespeare. And Noah Jupe, who last appeared in A Quiet Place Part 2, is also very good in a limited role. And he's a big part of the final scene in the movie, which is just outstanding. But the performance that really impressed me in this movie was Jacoby Juke, who happens to be the younger brother of Noah Jupe. He plays Hamnet, the son of Agnes and William, and he's very in tune with the world around him, just like his mother. And wow, this was an incredible performance by such a young actor, and his character really is the heart of the movie. So much of what happens in this movie stems from him, and he brings a maturity and awareness to his performance that really surprised me. I don't know if he'll get any awards recognition, but he definitely should. Hamnet is also a gorgeous movie with this really lush cinematography that captures these really breathtaking images of nature. And nature plays a big role in this movie, not only as a setting, but also as a metaphor for everything that's happening in Agnes and William's lives. This movie is also filled with some really beautiful shots that make use of the natural lighting, or at least they look like they were shot using only natural lighting. It gives this movie a very atmospheric vibe. Hamnet is also a very sad movie with some moments that are genuinely depressing and heartbreaking. And I could see a lot of people hearing me say that and think that this movie is just a downer. Again, it is a very sad movie, but it's more than that. It's also a beautiful portrait of grief and love. And you get to see how two people handle the same tragedy very differently. Also, the final moments of this movie, which were among my favorite parts of the movie, really brought everything together, and they were so captivating. And I think after going through this really long, emotional journey, those final moments were really cathartic. Although I did enjoy this movie, there was one part of it that didn't quite work for me, and it's a minor thing. This movie does a really great job, fantastic job of including nods to Shakespeare's works. Most of them are clever and very subtle and are incorporated into the movie in a way that isn't really, too obvious. But there were a few references that I felt were very misplaced that kind of took me out of the scene. And that included a scene involving William and the famous line, "to be or not to be." Hamnet was a wonderful movie, and it pulled me in and it moved me from the story to the cinematography to the performances. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this is one of the best movies of the year. So those are my thoughts on Hamnet, which is out in theaters right now. Are you planning on seeing it, or have you already seen it? What'd you think? Let me know in the comments. Also, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. It's a great way for me to grow the channel, and it's also a great way for you to show your support if you like the reviews that I'm posting. So that does it for me, everyone. I'll see you next time, and thanks for watching.